Oh shit.
Oh, actually, before we start, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year and welcome back to the Down with the Get Down podcast. Had to start it off like a smooth jazz. Welcome back to the Down with the Get Down podcast with your co-host Romeo.
And your boy there.
Boy there. Welcome back to the DWG hotel.
Actually, I don't think I can say that. I think that might be copyrighted.
That's what I was about to think about saying. That's why I said hotel. They'll get it if you know what I'm talking about.
If you're from the area, you know.
From the area, Mr. Keith Sweat. I used to want to be that dude. Like I used to want to be him on the radio. I was like, I could do this.
I could do it. It doesn't seem very hard. So
no, you just gotta go in there and then just make married women horny. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, it's no problem.
Just make them want to commit infidelity.
Yeah, I mean, I already do that anyway. So
there you go. Yeah. I support it.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that my job is just like answering phones all day, and there are people that just call me just to hear me talk to them, and it's oh, bro, it's extremely uncomfortable. But yeah, you know,
they just come back. They're just like, oh, it's him. They were like, just say something to me. What did Dexter say on Dexter's Laboratory?
Say it for me again, Dexter. I'm Le Du Flamar.
They're like, yes, now I can finish my shift. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, bro, it totes the line of what I would probably consider sexual harassment. But
they ain't told the line, is there?
But
hell, save this man.
But at the same time, it's just like I don't really care. So do what you do. I mean, my job is boring anyway. So I guess
I gotta keep it exciting sometimes.
What I'm about to say is obviously a joke. But honestly, if your job is boring, I mean, a little sexual harassment will spice that shit up.
It's a little almost catchy.
I don't know what y'all are complaining about, honestly. Sexual harassment ain't that bad. It makes me feel wanted. I'm joking. If you're being sexually harassed, suck it up.
Suck it up. Literally.
Maybe then he'll leave you alone. Use teeth. He won't ever talk to you again.
He won't ever talk to you again. Nah, he'll keep going. Niggas are weird.
All right, now that we've pissed off women, what's your question?
Oh, yeah, my question was asked to me by a woman. So, I was asked the age-old question of basically trading your sexuality for money. So, I have two different things.
Wait, what?
So, just bear with me.
Okay.
Just bear with me.
All
right. So, the first one was, if I gave you $2 billion, or I gave you just $1 billion in general, would you suck dick? That was the first question that was asked to me.
Right.
Yep. And the second question that was asked to me was, if you were given $1 billion as well, another $1 billion question, you get $1 million, and you were told to do a threesome with two other women, would you do it? My answer to the first one was absolutely not.
Right.
Of course. So I was like, all right, no. And then there was doubts put upon me by that person because that person could not believe. She thought that money talked. No. Money does not talk.
See, my thing too is, right, so for the second one, yes. The first one, no.
And the second one, I actually told her no. She thought I was crazy.
I mean, it's $1 billion. I mean, I guess follow-up question would be like, what does it look like, I guess. Honestly, I don't really care.
Like, it's like, here's $1 billion. What you gonna do? I was like...
Honestly, for the second one, it's an easy, yeah, sure, why the fuck not? The first one, even if I were gay, I would not be a bottom, so I'm not sucking dick. Like,
that's a great point.
Right. So
that's a great point. So even if I was a swing that way, man, you think I'm gonna put a penis in my mouth?
The fuck? That is a disrespectful question.
No, it was. And she was literally surprised, bro. She was like, oh, there go that ghost again.
God damn.
Open up the door.
Just wants to be a member of the show.
Come on, Chris.
Come on, sit down, damn it.
Come on. Come on, Ernestine. Come on. Sit down.
But no, I mean, like, even if I was gay, the answer would still be no.
No, and that's why I was like, in the crazy part, because people throughout my office,
they probably said yes to both.
They were all saying yes to both, but then on the first one, they were like, they could not believe that I was sitting there saying like no, that I wouldn't cheat on my girlfriend to go do a threesome. I was like, For one, I would probably immediately when I get the question, I'm gonna call her and be like, "Hey, so this is the proposition. So this is what's been told to me." Now I'm be like, and then I even called to prove to them that she was gonna say fuck no to the situation, because I called her and I said, "What would you do?" And then everything, she's so confident. My homegirl was so confident that my girl was gonna be like,
"Yeah, get the bag.
Yeah, get the bag, baby." Like, girl, I'd be mad if you didn't do it, because that's how her man was like, yeah. And then I called her, and then this girl was like, "Why'd you call my phone with this?" She said, "Why?" She said, "Why'd you call my phone with this?" She said, "No, absolutely not."
See, the problem with that question, right? Which is why I didn't want you to ask it on the first one, because I knew this would go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And this actually can lead into our next topic too. Mm-hmm. Is people are surprised that you have actual fucking morals, and you wouldn't give up your morals just for money.
Yes.
And that's what's crazy to people, because there's so many people that don't have fucking morals, or their morals ain't shit. They would just give up all that shit for money. Now, the question I feel is different. Like the second one, it would be different for you if you were not in a relationship.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. And that's what I thought the question was posed as. You're not in a relationship. Would you do this?
Yeah.
Not would you cheat on your spouse with 2 women for $1 billion, which is a little bit different.
Yeah. That's why I was like, when cheating prize, and then all the people that were really answering were single people. And then it was only like 3 people. It was me and 2 other people that were, one is engaged, I think. The other one is married. He was like, absolutely not. He was like, I have kids. He was like, I have kids. My homie that I told you about that I sit next to, he has kids too. And he was like, he said, I would be in trouble if I didn't say yes. And I was like, what? He was like, no. He said, you know how much money that is?
Yeah, I mean,
like so funny. And a lot of people, she was like, I don't. About the first question, how we're both like, look, no. She was like, oh, you're a black heterosexual male. All of y'all gonna say no, but I believe a lot of y'all would do that behind closed doors. That's a true statement. I'm pretty sure a lot of dudes behind closed doors would do this shit for money, but you just chose the wrong one.
Yeah,
you just chose the wrong one. A lot of you're going off of your own instincts and your own perception of what you think versus what reality is.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even really just a thing for like black dudes in general. Like the overwhelming majority of straight men, regardless of what race they are gonna most likely say no. And then behind closed doors, they're probably gonna suck that peen for some money.
Now, I knew one day he said that's gonna be the best 2 minutes of his life. And I was like, this nigga's tripping. I said, that's wild. You have children.
The other funny part I've always think the funny parts to those questions, they never pose a timeline, like a time frame. So like you can really just be there for like half a second and then get the fuck up and go out. Yeah. And technically say that you did it.
She started adding details to it afterwards. She was like 2 minutes. I was like, no. And then there were like 5 minutes with the sex part. Oral sex would have been 2 minutes. And then having sex would have been 5 minutes. And I was like, it'd be a different story.
With the dude? No.
Yeah, with the dude, no. I was like, with the threesome, I was like, that's a conversation to have and be like, all right, what's gonna happen if we go through it? If I go through with this, but then she was like, you can't say nothing. If I can't say nothing to him, absolutely not. I was like, I'm not gonna come home and be like, we're billionaires, and then tell you that what I just did. I can't even that's how conflicting that would be. Not conflicting. And then what if I kept telling her, I said, what if they do something to you that you never had done before? I mean, now you're in a real predicament, because but you're already looking at that person as disposable.
Well, I mean, yeah, even if they've done something to you that you've never had done to you before, it still was just for the fucking money. It's no different than being a porn star. So, I mean, I don't know. The threesome question is more reasonable to me.
Yeah, it's reasonable depending on your other one. Yeah, the other one, hell no.
Because, like I said, even if I were gay, I'm still not sucking dick. So
absolutely not.
That's a definite fucking no off rip, anyways.
You're a horrible gay man.
I don't give a shit.
He said, look, I don't do none of that gay shit. He said, I am a masculine top bit. Right. No, miss me with none of that gay. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me, you gay ass nigga. That's also the other reason I know I can't be gay. Flamboyant gay dudes piss me off. They're annoying as shit to me.
I can never unsee the situation that happened that they were explaining with when they said that white gay dudes basically they be stealing off of black women how they talk, and I can never unhear it now. I can never unhear when I hear.
Well, almost all gay dudes.
Yeah, they all
do
use
that.
it. Yeah, a lot of them do sound the same. And we're specifically talking about the flamboyant ones. We're not talking about the
not
chill
like normal ones. Just like the super flamboyant ones, they all sound the exact same.
Yeah, it's like as soon as they they're like, you know what? I'm gay now. Hey, and what the fuck? Look at the time. All of a sudden, you go from you like
it's gay o'clock.
You on a game with your homies. You just sitting there chilling. All of a sudden, 5 o'clock. You like, damn, bro, you just shot me, bro. Revive me right now. Revive me, please. They're like, what the hell?
It's like turned into a fucking werewolf.
I was like, no.
But, nah, bro, that shit weird. But speaking of like, fucked up morals and things like that, the Logan Pauls situation with him and George. I don't know the full depth of the thing because I don't watch Logan Paul's podcast like that.
Yeah, but
he has a problem with Christians for some reason. I sent you some of the videos.
I went and watched them.
Yeah, he has a problem with Christians. He, for some reason, has this weird little thing where he tends to think that every single Christian person thinks the exact same way because they are Christian.
A part of the affiliation.
Which is actually really fucking stupid.
Yeah,
and
very
it's
stupid.
And it's no different. It's like, to me, like, it's no different than like you had one bad experience with like a person of a certain race, and then you automatically think all of those people that are that race are the exact same way. Yeah, it's a really retarded like mindset to have. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm not sugarcoating shit about it.
and he says that he's like agnostic, and I'm just like, you don't sound like it. You sound like a fucking atheist.
That basically, you basically sound like, because then the clip you had sent me with the we're talking about the Impulsive podcast, by the way. If you guys need the context, that's the name of it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So and his co-host on there, George, that was the guy. He's very avid Christian guy. Talks about his purpose, like religion and all that stuff on there, and they were getting into what was I'm trying to think. It was him trying to call him out about the emotional intelligence part, but failing to realize that you were missing the key factors that you're having right now. I mean, you hit the nail on the head about the on the part about him being doesn't sound like he's agnostic, because I met agnostic people, obviously, and like we can say the same thing that all agnostic people aren't the same, and they think differently, and then like, but his views were aligning more on whenever you're trying to tell someone that something is silly or something like that, but you're trying to debate something when that's not really a debate.
Yeah, because I mean, like most people would consider me to be like agnostic, and that's fine. I don't care, because I don't follow like Christianity and stuff like that. But in the conversation that they were having, because they've talked about religion a few times, and he's bashed him for being a Christian for whatever reason, which I don't understand. Like, he doesn't try to push being a Christian on people. He just tells you his experience with it. Yeah. And like saying that it's silly that somebody believes in that, I've always thought is stupid. And that's the only thing that most atheists do.
They just call it silly. I mean, like, I just can't get behind it.
Most people that are atheists like to try to prove that God isn't real, which no matter what anybody does, they can't prove that he is real, and they can't prove that he is not real.
I just can't pull him and be like, hey, he's right here.
Right. Like, no matter what you do, all of these people that are atheists can all be wrong, and they will never know until they die, and they're not going to come back to tell you. So that's the only time where I'm just like, I understand you respecting somebody's just like belief, because you can't prove them wrong. And I understand you have a problem with the people that try to like push Christianity on people. Yeah. Because those people are annoying, obviously.
Yeah, that's nah.
But at the end of the day, like, that's their belief. They just believe that really strongly. Because George was talking about, like, he's talked to Muslims and Jewish people and Buddhists and all that stuff. And then Logan was like, well, who's right? Whose God is real then?
Yeah. And I was like, ooh.
He was just like, my God is real to me. Like, that's all that matters,
Facts.
And he was like, no, but like, whose God? Like, is your God the true God? I was like, he doesn't fucking know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if any of those gods
the way he asks questions, the way he asks that reminds me of like a fatherless child. Like when you're asking them like, why did he do this? Why is he not here? Why is he not doing all those things? Why do you believe in something that's not there? If dad never did anything for me that I can see, so why do I need to care about him?
Yeah,
and that's how he seems like it comes.
What is his name? George was also talking to, I forget what his name is. It starts with a B. I think it's like Brandon or something like that. The really buff dude. I think his name.
I forgot his name. I know he's talking about.
He was talking to him because he also isn't like a Christian person or whatever. Because of whatever. And George was basically, explaining like, all of these things that you went through is because he put you through those things. And your life, you might have suffered something to get where you are, but he made you do that so that you have that experience so you can help other people not experience what you went through.
Yeah.
And it might suck that you had to go through that. And you might be like, well, why the fuck did you make me go through that? Because not everybody else that's going to go through that experience is going to come out the way that you did. And you're able to now help other people.
And you didn't even know how to navigate it yourself. You went into it out of your own free will to deal with that situation. You chose that lifestyle, but you just didn't know the ins and outs. Now that you know the ins and outs, you can prepare the next person.
Yeah.
To be better.
And which, I mean, I like the conversation that he had with him because he was actually fucking listening, unlike like Logan. Like, Logan is really, he was just listening to like respond.
He was having a God complex of like, he was like, the way he was, it was kind of like giving off, you were talking about he's getting back to jackass Logan. It was like giving that superiority complex of like, why do I have to do that?
Yeah. Because he was talking about like, you went through with the whole thing with like him in Japan, right? He was like, that was what you needed. Like, God put you in that position to go there and have that happen to you so that it can provide character development for you now. Because that's what really made you have a shift in what you were doing and pushing your way through to, being as high of a success that he has been. But he, for some reason, has a problem with the fact that, like, with Christianity stuff, you can do whatever, and if you ask God for forgiveness, he will forgive you, which I don't know why that's a hard concept.
It's not a hard concept. I was listening to my bad. Were you done with your point?
Not yet.
Yeah,
I have one little tidbit. This is just a slight little jab, right?
All right.
He has a problem with that. That's the same shit that he did in the Japan situation. He made all these apology videos and people forgave him. What it has a problem with what exactly he just said. So by his logic, nobody should have forgave him for that whole Tokyo thing that he did.
You got forgiveness, and then
yeah, but apparently when somebody else does it and then they apologize for it, apparently you can't forgive them. God can't forgive them or some shit.
Apparently you're just doomed.
Yeah, and he has a problem with like what was it? Something about like, you can't believe in any other God or you go to hell or some shit like that. Which I don't even think that's really true. But I don't.
Yeah, because George even said it. And he was like, I wouldn't know. Like he said, I believe what I believe, and this is what I stand by. If like he was like, I don't know. He was like, did Islam people go to heaven? He said, I don't know. Like you low key can't answer that question. Like you could. If you're coming from,
you can answer it based off of your belief.
Based off your beliefs, then you would answer straight up do you have factual evidence? You can't say it.
Right. Because, I mean, like, that's why I don't follow, like, the Bible and all that shit. Because also it's all written by a person. And I was actually having this conversation with Allie, right? Because she's Roman Catholic, right? And so we were having this whole in-depth conversation. And I just wanted to be annoying. And I was talking about how all of the things that were written for the Bible could have been written by somebody who has a mental illness, because I used to work at Lakeside. There are many people that think that they are the voice of God, right? It's due to a mental illness that they have. Back in the day, they didn't have that sort of thing diagnosed. So nobody would really know. So somebody could have written all of this down that had a mental illness, and you can start a religion today as long as people believe in you and what you're saying. So everything you know today could have just been written by a person that's crazy, and nobody actually knows. And she got annoyed by it, but it's honestly
I get your point.
Thing that could have happened.
Yeah, no, that's
because we don't actually know, and that's why, and that's the reason I don't follow the religion as far as the Bible and things like that, because I don't know if it was actually written by a person that wasn't a crazy person. I believe that there is the possibility of God. I don't know what kind of God or who it is. I believe there is an entity, but as far as I don't believe in organized religion, so like that's why I don't subscribe to that whole thing.
I feel that.
No,
and then with like to go on your point about that, that makes a lot of sense, and I think that's how the way that Christians are able to bridge that gap of understanding is by going about it in the way of basically letting them know, as when it comes to, if you want to dive deeper into it, that's what the Bible is for. If you choose not to read the Bible, choose not to go by any of the Bible's teachings, anything, that's completely upon you. It does reinforce, if you're like, you know what, I align more with Christianity, with Christian views and what's coming from the Bible, let me go do my own research, then I think that's why we're having such a trajectory change in the understanding of separating what religion is versus what being spiritual is. Because when you think of religion, you think of the organized religion. I think of crusaders. I think of people rummaging villages, taking over and pushing the Lord down people's throats. And saying, you're going to go to the hell if you do. Which,
Burner, she's a witch.
She's a witch and stuff like that. Versus you sitting here and like basically how Jesus was back in the day. How Jesus was back in the day, roaming the world. He wasn't forcing nothing. He wasn't telling you, hey, he was just doing little miracles here and there. Had a couple people who he didn't do miracles for, and just kind of, they were just like, dang, this dude really walking in truth. And they mess with it. It's like any other influencer. And so he was a modern day, he was an old time influencer.
Because the other thing with that too, with like thinking about like crusaders and things like that. Technically, all that stuff is like, it's all based from one person's interpretation. Or corruption.
It's a the Bible, from my understanding, I knew it was written by disciples. The disciples were taken. It wasn't just one person; it was a collective.
Yeah, I know.
And then, from a Christian standpoint, we go off of. I know the oldest version I know is New King James Version. No, the King James Version, which was derived of a bunch of scholars and people from around the world that help make the Bible like basically translatable to the language we have today of English. So that's where it came from. But the original works that were written were by disciples and other people. And then and obviously you have to go from if you're going from a Christian standpoint, the work you're writing in the Bible and it's becoming a work, you're getting the energy, you're getting the power and to write all those things from the Lord, of course.
Right.
So so he knows what's going on. And then the stuff that was said by Jesus, of course, was probably recorded and written down, because it's hard to probably remember what the hell dude just walked on water, and then all of a sudden you're not thinking about writing. So I was like, that's the only way I could have put that in. Of course, there's plot holes everywhere, but then that comes in with just having faith, which people have a problem with, just like Logan.
I don't have a problem with people having faith. I have a problem with people having blind faith. Right? Blind faith is to me worse, because it's one of those things where like you have blind faith, so no matter what, you're still going to believe what you believe, and you have no possibility of understanding other people's point of view because you're just blinded by your belief on that. Because like some people, the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't be able to have with them because when they hear it, it goes against what they believe in so strongly that they just kind of try to shut down or whatever. And it's a genuine trying to understand different parts of it, because like understanding a lot of things within like religion and stuff like that, and also understanding more about mental health, it's very difficult for some people to, and I understand now it's very difficult for some people to understand different parts of religion, because so much of it just sounds like people with mental illnesses.
Yeah.
So and some of it sounds like people with mental illnesses. All of these people are now dead, so you can't necessarily even say some of the people that wrote some of this were even real to begin with.
That's why I think it's more important for people to sit here and like, if you have, of course, talk with people who have studied, done the things, know their scriptures and stuff like that. But if you still having so many questions, instead of going to other people, just go to the source, which the only source that you can get from Christianity is the Bible. And we question the book so much, but then it's like, I know I haven't fully read the book. I have to go do that myself so I can have a better understanding. And then same thing, if we're having a conversation with somebody who's like real, like how Logan Paul was, it's a matter of thing. It's kind of like, read the scripture and then go from yourself. If you read the scripture, you see if it doesn't do anything for you, then you have your own thing.
I think that's also why a lot of people have problems with it as well, because reading the scriptures, you interpret it the way that it makes sense to you, and the way that it makes sense to you is not the way that makes sense to other people. So somebody might look at that and be like, well, this still doesn't make sense because of this, this, and this. It's like, well, that's not the way that I interpret it.
Well, that's also a beautiful thing too at the same day, because technically your relationship with God is completely different from my relationship with God.
Like, and I mean, I understand that, but that's where some people have the disconnect, because they are under the assumption that all relationships to God should be the exact same. And having so many interpretations of it means that there's no true like line.
Yeah.
When really I view it more as a tree, like a tree roots of the tree. The different roots are your interpretation, but it's all leading to, your relationship with God at the end of it.
It's like everybody has their, like, how it's like the butterfly effect. Everybody has a different path to just depend on what you want to do.
Yeah.
But then I think that's the point you said about the atheist thing, and then how they think, and when they start trying to push their beliefs upon you to not believe, that ties into the fact of what you just said. I just fucking lost the point because my head started hurting. But it's on the thing where if you don't, I'll just wrap it up like this, saying that if you don't have a full understanding and you're already going into it with the mindset that you want it. Okay, I'm back. You want it to be the same.
Yeah.
Which I always like. That's something that I've heard before. One thing. No, I've never heard that one to be the same part, but that makes sense with the same sentence where people say, "Why? Why does God do this? Why won't God come in here and just basically make everything perfect? Why do bad people exist? Why do you let natural disasters take over and all these other things?" And that's the reason why I feel like a lot of them cannot get right with Christianity, because it's so much wrong in the world that they focus on, and they become, instead of they're really pessimistic about a lot of things. So if you coming in them with this, all you gotta do is believe. All you gotta do is believe and you'll be saved and your everlasting life. They're like, bro, I'm struggling right now. I don't care about my everlasting life. I care about what's going on right now. And then, but that's not the bigger picture from a Christian standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, because, the way that I've also semi kind of taken it from some people, thinking about like real Christian value shit, it's really looking towards the future type of thing. Like you endure everything that you're enduring today for a better future tomorrow kind of thing. So, and I don't know if that's like the right way to word it, but that's kind of the way that I've understood it a little bit. You might be going through all this terrible shit, but that's just basically
tip of the iceberg.
You're basically going through a character arc so that you can do better later. But that's your decision to do better. You have, like, a lot of like atheists and stuff like that, they don't understand the concept of free will. Yeah. They think because God controls so much, how can he not control our free will kind of thing. And like, the other thing with like God making people in his image kind of thing also confuses some people as well, because it goes to like, I think it was Joe Rogan talking to, I think his name is Matthew Walsh, about because Matthew Walsh was like super Christian or whatever, but I think like a lot of his points with Christianity don't make sense because he was talking about like God made gay people. And so if he made gay people, then how can he condemn people for being gay? And to that, that's where a lot of like people have a problem with too, because they talk about, well, God made gay people. And he didn't technically make gay people. He made you.
He made you. You just
have the choice to be that. Like this was your decision to do. Like you're not a gay baby. You don't know anything about it. You were raised the way that you were raised, and you have the free will to do what you want. And that's what you decided to do with your free will, is be gay. But he didn't make you anything. Yeah, he just made you a man or woman.
The crazy part, you can put that on the same level with people, with us like liking women. You chose, even though you're like, oh, I was biologically set to like women. Of course, yeah, you were in that situation. Like, yeah, you like women and stuff like that, but you don't have to have sex with them. You choose that. You choose to act upon those things. You choose.
With that, I don't necessarily like, only because
I'm saying how when if they're saying like it's too hard, like you're telling a person not to be with another person, like a woman not to be with another woman, a man not to be with another man, and they're like, oh, it's hard or it's too difficult and stuff like that. I said I would almost put it. Obviously, I think that's very difficult, and I feel bad for those type of people who legit know what they like, and then like you can't do nothing about it sometimes. But in those situations, I guess it makes it for the people on the conservative side who are like against that type of person. Just think about it on the same level of somebody ripping away a woman from you or a man from you and telling you that you can't touch them.
Yeah, I mean, because like the other thing too is like there are a lot of like conservative people that are like okay with like gay shit now. But I also have never, my entire life, I've never believed that like if you're gay you go to hell. I've never believed that. Like it might be in the Bible somewhere, but I don't actually believe that to be the case, because that makes no sense to me. No. Like if you, and also it doesn't make sense, because if you say if you're gay you go to hell, but also if you say that if you repent you go to heaven, regardless of that means that all gay people can go to heaven. So those two things contradict themselves.
It's one of those things.
But I feel as though like if the goal is for you to love God, regardless of if you're gay or not, because everybody sins, you can't say one sin outweighs the other necessarily.
Yeah, nah.
Well, probably murder, but like murder. But I mean, I think that's probably the only one that might it's fucking rape. But I mean, there are a few that outweigh some other sins.
Assault.
there are a few that outweigh some more.
Stealing.
But
naming them all.
But simply loving somebody and you also accepting God as like, your Lord and Savior and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't think that like the way that I see like God, if he is real for like Christians, I feel like he is pretty chill. So I feel like he's just like, I didn't even tell them that.
I didn't even say that.
Right. He's like, it's like you two gay people go up to heaven and they're just like, man, I'm surprised we got here. He's like, yeah, I didn't actually tell them that.
I didn't tell them that. Y'all, I knew y'all accepted me in your heart and soul, and you were good to go. Like I know that you were born sinners, and it's fine.
Yeah, you know. So it's just there are certain, which is why I don't do the whole religion thing like that, because there are certain aspects of it that I don't agree with, and I'm never going to agree with. I do, however, like I'm agnostic, sure, but I agree with more Christian values than other things. Yeah. Because I think probably the best thing are the 10 Commandments. Yeah. Like out of all things with Christianity, the 10 Commandments are the only things that I really think are the best thing to actually
it's like top moral things you need to abide by.
Right. And I think that's the only, I think to me personally, those are the only thing that matter. The 10 Commandments are the most important parts to me. Yeah. Because that goes over so many aspects of what you need to be a good person. essentially.
He's like, you abide by these. I mean, you chilling.
Yeah.
Abide by these and be like, hey, Jesus, I appreciate you.
Because my thing is, even if you're not religious, even if you think of a different religion or whatever, like if you follow the basic 10 commandments, essentially you are just a good person all around. You know, don't kill people, don't steal from people. You know, all that stuff. Like you're straight.
You chilling. That brings up a point where I didn't want to cut you off.
Do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, that brings up a point. Remember I told you about Young Don and Sauce Guy's his whole trajectory changed to Young Don Reborn, while he's now like on his Christian stuff. Well, shout out to him, by the way. Because
shout out to you.
Shout out to Young Don. Love your content, but like he went through
Go back to drawing. I need some more.
I need some more drawings.
But I love what you're doing still.
But homeboy literally went through a 360 in a matter. I think he said he was a Christian. He said, in my experience of being a Christian in the past like 7 months or something like that.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it changed too because he had his kid too. So
that too. But he talked about how he was in the beginning. And then, you see him on these debates and stuff with like the Islamic people sometimes, and then with like other people who are streamers, and he gets into it with them about Christianity stuff. So he talked about that in this past video I was literally watching, and when I tell you, it was like one of the most insightful things I'm hearing from another Christian person, because he was basically apologizing as well, because he had another video where he was talking, where he reacted to a fan that was like, I don't watch him no more, and this is why. And he apologized and was like, I was not being a good Christian during those times where he was talking down and condemning other people. Because at one point he was on that, you're going to hell. Like he was on that,
I remember.
He was heavy on that. And then now he's like, he said, the crazy part is he said, I wasn't saved until maybe like a couple weeks ago. He said, I wasn't truly saved until like some weeks ago. And then he went to further explain, to sum it up. He was like, everything that he thought that he knew was just basically the bare minimum. He's like, being a good person doesn't give you. He was like, he said he had a dream that he went to hell, and it was very vivid. And he was like, maybe this is God let me know that I'm on the trajectory of the wrong way. Yeah, I need to change something. And then he was like, out of nowhere, he had this different switch where he understood the Bible and the gospel, because he's real big on read your Bible. That's like, he's like, if you want the word, that's where the word is. You need understanding for yourself, so you need to do your own research, as well as he does attend church, but he does most of his own stuff. He was like, I was to the point where I'm like, why am I going here? I've done everything right. I've stopped smoking. I've stopped drinking. I've stopped doing anything. I stopped porn. I stopped all that stuff. I'm working. I take care of myself. I'm reading my scripture and going to church. Why do I feel like this?
I have one quick thing. Is drinking and smoking, is that like against the Bible?
So smoking, I haven't heard anything or seen anything, but drinking wise, no, it's about, like they say, have a sober mind. So I guess if you're doing anything excessive, then that's when it becomes like.
But didn't he turn water into wine?
I said excessive. I didn't say you just sipping something and you just chilling.
Hey, I'm pretty sure holy liquor is a lot
different. That was the best thing in the world. Boy, I would have loved to have been there. I would have been like, man.
Especially if they never really had it like that before. They just
tastes like Hennessy. Boy, he sit there. He said, this that. Nah, it was really Taylor Ford.
He takes one of them takes a little sip. This is liquor.
This liquor. Well, looked at this. Why snitched on him. That's why Judas went and snitched. He was like, he got us drunk. He
gave us some liquor. God damn it.
Gave us some liquor. Y'all can't have nothing. The Romans were like, bruh, he gonna just make this and not gonna say nothing. That's crazy. Hey, crucify this man.
Hey, that's really the theory. God damn it.
But no, what he realized was that you were already good. You were already saved. It's the easiest thing is to sit. It's easy to understand that you're saved and to realize that Jesus doesn't die for a reason. Dude died for all of our sins. So with that being said, nothing you do wrong, it can, like, he basically gave you the clean slate. Like you just did a freaking cheat code in Mario and got all like extended lives. Yeah. That's basically what he gave you 9 lives like a cat. When he died on the cross, because God knew that this was too much for man to handle. We sin so much that we would be in the lowest depths of hell.
Yeah.
Messing around if Jesus never came around and was like, you know what, I got him. Yeah. So once he did that, that was that. But now all he's asking for now is like, bro, I already did. Like, that's why I was like, I always think it's funny when people talk about, well, I'm being a good person, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I'm like, you're supposed to do that. You're not supposed to steal from people. You're not supposed to kill people. You're not supposed to do these things. So when people sit there and say it's like basically to God and Jesus, that's the bare minimum. What Don was explaining. He was like, bro, that's just you supposed. It's like basically
that's the 10 Commandments already.
Yes, he was like, you already. He was like, bro, just you already supposed to be doing this. Going the extra step is starting to create a relationship with God. Understanding that Jesus did die and being a priest. He said somebody realized I was not a appreciative. He said you don't understand how much he's done for you, and that was what was really getting to me. And I was like, dang. I don't really I show appreciation. I say it, but then I don't realize that once I'm gone and I'm out of this world, and there's a place already for me. Because he was like, bro, I died for you like 10 times over. It's cool. like he did that, and then it's like to the point where like I almost get a little emotional thinking about it because it's like I'm good regardless. Yeah, it's like your parent just took 12 spears to the back and was like, shook your hand and was like, you good, my G. I did this for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, I feel as though it's very hard for people that can't accept Christianity to understand certain things like that because
you can't see it.
Well, yeah. And by going with you can't see it, right? Like a lot of people, I feel like I don't know if this is actually the case, but I do know it's the case for some people. You know, they looked for God for answers and those answers never came, and they feel as though he might have given up on them, or that might solidify to them that he does not exist. Because I can tell you, like, you know, I gave up on God like super fucking early in life when I was like in middle school. Middle school? Yeah. Because my grandmother passed. And that, like, I used to pray and do all that stuff. And, you know, when she was sick, I prayed.
And then it didn't happen.
Right. And she passed. And so I was just like, guys, it's not real, you know, because this person to me, you know, was the perfect person. And you took her. And not until later on, I understand, like, you know, taking somebody to take them to a better place sort of thing. But as a kid, you don't really understand that. No. Especially because, like, I don't really go to church a lot and stuff like that anyways. So,
you think that's your only superpower you can use? You're like, I can't do nothing but pray.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm just like, you know, if I pray hard enough, she will be okay. And it wasn't, you know. And so I was like, well,
God do it to you.
Well, yeah. You know, it's like I give up, you know. Yeah. Like, if praying is not going to help, then it is what it is. And then later on, I understand, like, what the fuck is praying going to do? He is a God, and I am one person in the world of a billion people. He's not going to just always be like, well, this one person prayed for it, so let me go ahead and do it.
I mean, sometimes it's crazy like that.
Sometimes it is. But
yeah, but you can't make yourself feel too minuscule.
But what I'm saying is, you can't be upset if it doesn't happen.
That's true.
So, yeah, it might happen in one of those instances, but there's so many other people in the world, and this might just be the thing that you needed or she needed, you know? Because the other thing, too, is, like, I feel like people that are, I've told you this, people that are, like, atheists and stuff like that, I feel like they just have no fucking imagination.
You've been on atheists this whole round. He been on y'all case.
I mean, because
he's out on all the smoke.
Yeah,
let him know. I just play it.
No, fuck them. I don't care. Because they intellectually don't actually make fucking sense. Like, it doesn't actually make sense. And also, you just have no fucking imagination. Because how are you going to say, well, I die and nothing happens to me? Like, to me, also, like...
That's scary. I don't want to imagine that.
Well, to me, the other thing, too, is, like, you know, the main purpose of, like, religion or Christianity or whatever is having a more... It's basically like you solidifying, like, in yourself the, like, better grief, because you know the person that passed is going to another place and it's better than where they were, because heaven is the most amazing place to be, and they're no longer here with you. They're in a much better place. And I feel like that's a much better way for you to handle that loss. And that's one of the other aspects of religion, like Christianity.
It gives you that, basically, that peace of mind, gives you that what is it?
I couldn't think of the word. And
I'm thinking about it too. I was like a conclusion, but like it gives you peace. I can't think of the actual term.
Right, yeah. No,
closure. There you go.
I was trying to say closure, yeah. But yeah, it provides you with the closure that you need, because obviously we don't actually know where they're going to, but with that, you believe that they're going to somewhere better. And I think that is much better than just thinking they don't go anywhere.
That was something that Don had pointed out in there. I didn't realize about other religions, because what I was taught was that other religions just don't go to heaven. Like Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, all the other ones, Judaism. Like they weren't. And then I didn't understand why at first until I had heard Don had say something, and I was like, well, we technically don't know, but according to Christian ideals, this makes sense, because from Christian standpoints, Jesus was the Messiah. He came back, rose again. He was our Savior. In Jewish customs, he's not there. He was a regular. And in Islam, I think he's a prophet. So neither one of them believe in that person. And then through Christianity, Jesus is the key. If you're like, cool, appreciate you, big dog. I love you. I care. Like, I'm so thankful that you saved me, and I'm gonna follow you. That's completely different. And they don't think the dude came back. They're waiting. And then in Islam culture, there are so many rules and regulations in order to even get in good graces with the Lord, and there's still no guarantee. Versus from a Christian standpoint, you're guaranteed to go to heaven.
Yeah. Also, you have the fucking what are they called? The Black Israelites. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those niggas are weird.
It's so much. I remember when we studied those in like middle school. We studied the religions, and I was like, bro, that's a lot.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I'm not gonna lie.
I paid attention just to understand. I was just like, let me see what's really talking about, and I was like, this is a lot just to get in. And versus this other person, they're like, you know what? We got chips over here. Like, hi, we got barbecue. Yeah.
But, I mean, it like a lot of the other aspects to it, it's pretty much just like, you have to have your punch card in order to get in that bitch. But with Christianity you're already invited.
You born with the punch card.
You're already invited,
You just gotta come.
Your name is already on the list, But for some of the other stuff, you're just like, nah.
You're not on the list.
You got to pay entry.
You got to pay entry. You got to I know Islam, they got to do a pilgrimage to Mecca, do all this stuff, pray for a certain amount of time. I'm like, bro.
Yeah. It's
like I understand. Like that's a good practice to have, and I don't bash them for having it, because I support it, because it teaches discipline, which I know in a Christian standpoint, we don't have as much discipline that they implement in different cultures. Like in different religions, we're cool. So that's why it's not our.
Honestly, I feel like you really shouldn't. The only reason I say that is because the more discipline you have with a religion, the more you feel as though your religion is right. And like back in the day with, like the Crusaders and stuff like that, they were super hard on like certain aspects of religion, which is why they killed so many people.
Not to that extent. Let's not get too deep.
No, I'm not talking about like other religions are going to do that. I'm saying like, there are.
If you get too hard, you might get to that point. If you get
too hard into the innate details of certain aspects of it, it provides a wrong amount of discipline, right? And so I feel as though the more that time went on with Christianity, I'm only talking about Christianity. I'm not talking about the religions. But the more and more as time went on, I just want to make that clear. I don't want people to.
All of a sudden, it started flooding. You be like, dang, y'all ain't flooded us yet. All the one moment we talk about this, they go crazy.
But, the more and more like things kind of died down with, because, with that sort of stuff with religion or with Christianity, it's, more people are free to be who they are, and it provides more interpretations of what it is. Like when we were talking about, other people having their different relationships with God. Because back in the day, you couldn't have that different relationship with God, or else you would fucking die.
Yeah, they would. You would be a witch. If you're doing something different, it's a problem.
Right. So, I feel as though that it makes it a lot better to not have all of those constraints with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mainly support it off the strength of, I know there are a lot of us as Christians who are undisciplined, and then that's a good example. You're like, dang, if this dude over here is like willing to die for his, but you come over here and you put a gun in front of me, and I'm like, oh no, I don't believe in that Jesus, man. but they'll lay their life down for Allah. They'll be like, cool. They'll be like, bro.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that though.
No, I don't have to do that.
I think that's better.
I don't have. No, it's better for sure from a society, us being in a safer country type of situation, depending. Yeah. But if that was the case, a lot of us don't have that type of conviction.
Yeah,
I mean that's why I respect that today. I'm not saying me or you, because I know don't nobody do this to me. But if that was the situation, they told me to deny the Lord in front of them and put a gun to my head, I'm finna be seeing Jesus, because I ain't gonna deny him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be scared. Hopefully, it's a trick. But if he take me out, hopefully I got a high chance in the Lord's favor in that moment. I'm like, bro, I died for you. You died for me. I took the favor back. He shot me.
It'd be funny.
What?
He still was just like, you didn't have to do that.
You didn't have to do that. You could have denied me.
You could have still lived on.
You did something dumb. I'm just like, well, dang. All right.
You did something dumb, but bring your dumb ass in here.
You don't know that here. You trying to play racquetball? Yeah.
Why you bring racquetball?
I don't know. It's the first thing I thought about.
Racquetball in heaven? What does it bounce off
That'd
of?
be intense.
What?
I mean, when you're in heaven, you can just make walls. Just be like, all right, here's a wall right here.
I don't know if that's how they described heaven.
They describe heaven with like milk and honey. I think, this is my thoughts on what it looks like. Is whatever is the happiest thing to you. I feel like that's what heaven would look like. And then I feel like it'd be like servers. Like I can hop into your server and you'll just be you're like freaking Deadpool somewhere, and I'm just like, oh, let me be Spider-Man. And I just pop out and just swing into your server, and then we just outside chilling. He's like, bro.
It's just the outside is just like a normal lobby. It's like and then when you go into your room, it's just different.
Yes, everybody's room is just completely different.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's how I keep it from feeling like, because I used to be like, bro, heaven will be so boring. Everything's all happy-go-lucky and nothing's going wrong. And then to the point where I was like, bro, you can do anything.
Yeah.
I never get tired. I was like, I go run a marathon just because.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't go to heaven yet until One Piece is over.
It's never over.
It will be over pretty soon. Once that show ends, I can die.
Wait. He said over pretty soon. Next thing you know, a year passes. I could die now. I'm like, wait. We need you for the next episode. What you doing?
I'm not going to just up and die randomly. Well, unless my fucking body gives that.
From the excitement or disappointment, depending on how they end the show.
I'm pretty sure the show is going to end fantastically.
If they end that show in the same fashion that they did Naruto, I'm going to laugh.
I'm going to kick you in your fucking face. I would be so fucking upset. They bring a fucking alien out of nowhere.
Just bring in an alien. Nah, they're gonna bring in. Nah, we talking about Jesus. He just pops in. They're gonna put him on the same level. They're gonna have Goofy. I said Goofy. Luffy. I'm tired. You can tell it's starting. We're almost done, and I'm shutting down.
Yeah. Well, Luffy's already fucking pirate Jesus. So
basically,
he rose back from the dead and became a god. So.
Did you see the thing with Goku? They were like, Goku goes to heaven and he keeps trying to fight God.
Oh yeah, and he keeps fucking dying, and then he comes right back up. Yeah,
he was like, I don't even need that body. He was like, bro, just go home. He said, bro, just leave me alone.
I'm home now. Yeah,
that shit funny.
Man, I wonder how it would be to try to fight God. Like, what if he would let you do it?
What if he just got down to your level, got to your same strength, and was
boxed
like,
the fuck out of you?
And he was like, I'm gonna beat you with your own strength. You gonna feel what you feel like, and it's not gonna be fun.
I just feel like he would turn into Mike Tyson, like prime Mike Tyson.
He's like, oh, you make me mad.
With the power.
With the power. He's just like, oh God. He's like, yeah, oh me.
I'm gonna hit you so hard, you're gonna see me twice.
You're gonna see me twice. You're gonna be praying to my son.
You're gonna be in super heaven.
You're gonna be praying to my son. Look at him. He's like, don't pray to me.
I feel like that's the ideal version of heaven. I mean, I probably pissed off a lot of Christians, but like,
you just wait, you just go up there. I just feel like as soon as you go up there, it's just like, bro, it's all good. I don't even care no more. I stopped caring the minute I got up here. I just feel like that'll just be a I don't want to do they have like the ICU unit for people who like died drastically, like really like out of nowhere. Like you got shot in a drive-by, or like you got in a car wreck and all of a sudden you don't realize you just snapped your neck. Do you feel that? You just wake up and you just like, hey, and they're like, here you go, here are your papers, here are your cloaks, here's your halo.
Oh, it's like that. It's like that thing from Family Guy.
Yeah, it's like
when he was like, everybody needs to die with a towel because that's the only thing heaven doesn't have is towels. And if you die a cripple, you're a cripple in heaven.
Bro, that'd be so discombobulated. You just fuck around and something just happens, your heart stop in the middle of you eating. You just in there, dead. And you wake up and they're just like, all right, cool. You know how you got here?
I feel like they need therapy in heaven.
Yes, I would need therapy if that shit happened to me. I'll be sitting there like, nah, bro. Like, they be like, you're dead. And they show me this little mini screen TV and they're like, this is you right here. And you just see your loved ones around you. Oh no, my baby.
You do the fucking the thing from like what was it? Yu Yu Hakusho when he tried to go back into his body for a second.
Try to swim in.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this is normal. This is everybody's first response. Trying to get back into your body. You're not going back.
Bro, just imagine you do that and you just see other people just in there just trying to get themselves CPR to come back in. You're just like, what is happening?
Like, heaven is a beautiful place, but this group of people over here, these are people that could never get over it. At some point, they'll snap out of it.
No, I just had the most, like, imagine it was a traumatic experience. Like, it was more traumatic. You thought it was going to be. Yeah, like, you die, and then all of a sudden.
I'm pretty sure dying is a traumatic experience.
But, like, you know how they talk about limbo being in between?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, imagine you die, and you just feel the Grim Reaper just grab you by your chest. By whatever shirt you have on, and rip you out your body and throw your ass into space. And like you're going to heaven.
You're like a fucking rocket.
Yes.
Like going into
but it's happening so quick. It's happening so fast you can't even realize what's happening. Or it's like you wake up and dude just like fucking waterboarding you. He's like, wake up.
You make it sound like people don't want to go. You're making it happen.
He's like, and then all of a sudden you wake up and Jesus stand next to you. He's like, you gotta get crucified next. He's like, this is the only way to get in. You like, huh? And you gotta feel everything. And he just starts stabbing needles into your hands.
That is terrible.
He's like, this is the only way to get in.
This is terrible. Why would you? Nobody, fucking hell would be overpopulated.
Like, no, he was like, bro, no, them periods you were saying, they were poo. They were trash. This is what you like. Nah, in order for you to get in, this is what you got to do.
He's like, I didn't tell them to pray. They did it themselves.
They did it themselves.
It's like when you write a letter to Santa. That nigga's not gonna get it.
You get cold. It's not cold. It's a punishment. That man just sends you to hell for like 10 days. He's like, bro, nah, you gotta go down there for like, and it feels like it's an eternity.
It's like the fucking that would be shitty.
10 days go by, you've been there, you traumatized, you come back and you're like, bro, I don't even want to be here no more.
You know, I honestly forget hell is a thing, right? Like I forget that people talk about it. And as much as I want to know what heaven's like, I also want to know what hell is like. Because what if it's not that bad?
So the crazy part is, I thought it was just you burning. That was the whole thing. I was like, okay, heaven, like hell. I was always introduced as, don't go there. You're gonna burn to death, or you're gonna not be dead. You're just gonna be agonizing pain consistently forever. And I was like, wow, that sounds uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to do that. I love the Lord out of fear. Out of fear. Yeah. And then it transitioned to the love part when I was like, okay. I think I was talking to my granddad one time and he was like, it was really the hell is the absence of God. So I was like, you just go there and you just feel super empty or something. Like you just like something's missing.
You go to hell, you're just depressed.
You're just depressed the entire time. You're just sitting there and they're just some dude poking a stick at you. He's like, nah. You're like, stop. He won't stop.
I honestly like what I thought hell was it's whatever your worst fear is, and you just experience that for like eternity, right? Yeah,
I had seen the show Lucifer.
Yeah, I've never watched it.
I've never watched it either, but my girl, she watches it, and she was like, and I seen the episode of like what this guy's hell was, and it was constantly a loop of like his worst experience. Yeah, and I was like, I had to think about it for a second. I was like, what if I had in my life there's been a bad experience that I wouldn't want to go back through? And I was like, that shit be wild.
Yeah, I think my toxic trait is knowing that I don't actually know, but thinking that I can break myself out of it. I've done it.
I mean, the dude, that's what they literally stay there for an eternity until they figure out
how to get out.
Yes, till they figure out why they're stuck in that loop, and then it seemed like they got released. At that point, they were like, okay, I'm good. That would be cool if that was the case. And you're like, all right, cool.
Maybe if you're a shitty person, God puts you in hell for a trial to get into heaven.
You on trial, right? Bro, that would be the most intense situation of your life. You're like, that's worse than going to jail. You're like, you're already freaking out and like, damn, you finna snitch on everybody going to jail. But imagine you in heaven. You're like, bro, I'm snitching on everybody. You got me messed up. I'm like, nah, I ain't do this. I own up to this. So Nunu did it. He just died. Go grab him. Go grab him. Take him there. He's worse.
I feel like that is. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's a cooler thing, but I think it's probably what it should be.
That would make you more like, okay, it's room for improvement. But from the standpoint of going off of Young Dunn and how I've been hearing this stuff about Chris, I was like, I don't think he worked like that.
No, probably not.
You go down there, it's over with. He's like, bro, you had all this life and you wasted it.
But what if you lived your life normally and you still went to hell anyways?
That's the same people who think they're being a good person. Like you said, was that doing the 10 Commandments, which is basically here. And the reason I'm thinking the 10 Commandments, they had them during that time is because people were crazier during that time. You gotta think about when Moses brought out them slabs, that was stone slabs, my G.
Yeah, I know.
People were doing dirty things back in the day. So you had to have at least 10 commandments of like, bro, quit killing people just cause. Quit
killing him just because he stole something from you.
Yeah. Just because, bro, you can't always have a spear next to you and be ready to go. And so like you gotta have those things because that's just modern day hood. That was literally the hood was everywhere.
They were fucking savages.
They were savages, so they had to have somebody come down with this stone tab.
That also goes into that thing that I was telling you about, where I feel like certain people, when they like came down to like Earth, like Earth already had people, and people were just savages, and those were rules that were set in place to make them not savages.
That might have been the thing,
because
supposedly Neanderthals and Homo sapiens are like two different things. From science is trying to pull out now is that the Neanderthal people are completely different from regular men, but then they started like cohabitating, and that's why we have like, you know how Jason Momoa has a strong eyebrow, like how his some people have that particular protruding brow in their skull, and like that's a trait from being Neanderthal.
You used to call Jason Momoa a Neanderthal.
He's a Neanderthal. You seen this man on Aquaman? He's built different.
That is true. But he's also Samoan, so.
See, they're not too far. Not too far. But no, like it's a whole bunch of shit like from history. I know when I die, I'm gonna ask all the questions. I'm like, were Cyclops real? What happened to the dinosaurs? Why do we think they're reptiles and they look like birds? I'm like, what is happening?
I feel like most people are gonna have that. He's just gonna have a pamphlet. It's gonna be.
It was an experiment. That's what he gonna say. He was like, I was just messing around.
Yeah. He was like, look, I was just messing around. Some things didn't work. Some things didn't. There's actually a different Earth for everything that I've done.
He's like, bro, y'all are really haven't even been on the Earth that long. I'm about to change y'all out. He's like, look, he's like, Revelations was a book in the Bible for the reason. He was like, I'm finna destroy everything. I just know and let y'all know.
The only thing would be like, when you go to heaven, he's just like, I love y'all. But honestly, out of all the things that I've created, y'all are probably the dumbest. I've created other civilizations on other planets, and they've already they drove here. Y'all had to die to get here.
He was like, you know why y'all the only habitant people in the Milky Way galaxy? It's because everybody else left. Dumb people.
Everybody else found transportation to get here. The only reason y'all got here, for some reason, because y'all died.
We expand in heaven we expand in space every day because of them, not y'all. Y'all think that we run away from y'all so y'all don't get close. No, you just too far behind. He was like, I made you in the image of me. That I didn't give you the powers. I apologize for that part. He's like,
apparently I didn't give y'all the brain capacity either.
Apparently I didn't. I was just trying to see what y'all were gonna do, And
he's like, I kind of messed up a little bit by only letting y'all access 10% of your brain. Everybody else had 100.
All this technology stuff is wild. Y'all could have been sitting out here like wizards. You could have been superheroes. But you know,
each other powers.
Could have gave each other powers, but you know, you decided to burn all the witches. You decided to kill the dinosaurs are done, and y'all digging up bones, making shit up. I was like, I'm tired of this stuff.
They never had feathers. I don't know why y'all think they had feathers.
What is happening? He just sit there. He's like, bro, you stress me out every single day. He's like, there go another one. He just like, I feel like if you see God, you think he's gonna be this happiest person.
He's just stressed.
And he's just sitting there in the corner with the thick ass like stress like line in his forehead. He's just sitting there. And Jesus like, hey, my G. He's like, bro, stop talking to me. He said, I told you not to die for them stupid people, and look what you did. They keep coming in every day.
I feel like that would be really funny.
Quit telling them to love you. He said, quit telling them. That'd be crazy. But shoot, you got anything else that's on the top of the board?
No, you just, if you don't accept God as your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell.
Well, okay, hey. I can't prove those things. I'm only going off of the Lord.
If I really meant that would be the complete contradiction of our entire conversation.
Supposed to just lay down.
Damn, I guess I should repent.
Yeah.
This random guy said it on the air.
Maybe. Practice gratitude, ladies and gentlemen.
Just be a good person first, and then try to be a better person after.
Yeah. First, get your own understanding of anything, whatever you're interested in. And if it is happen to be Christianity, then do your research. That's like, it's the same thing as like I tell people who are joining organizations. Do your research, read the Bible. Even I grew up in this, so yeah, we grew up around people there, so we have a little step above with understanding. But when it comes to people who hop into it late, this is the best time to do it. It's the best time to do it. If you feel like you're being lost, you feel like those things. I feel like a preacher. I feel like come, will you come?
I mean, honestly, this probably is the best time for you to do it. We just traded a basketball player for
there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of fear out here. I think you might need to renegotiate your contract with Jesus. You need to have a conversation.
We might be meeting them soon.
On that note, hey, y'all follow us on all social medias. Rate us 5 stars on whatever listening platforms you're listening on. Please like, share, and subscribe us on YouTube. We are on everything. Pretty much, you can see all the links on there. Follow us both on our social medias at Road 2.0. And then, what's your Instagram?
Shit, I don't even know.
All right.
We'll put it in the description.
It'll be in there. And also follow us on TikTok. We'll be dropping some more content. We got some things in the vault that we're going to drop out for you guys. It's bonus content for sure. Mm-hmm. We appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all have this is a New Year's special?
Yeah, New Year's special.
Well, hey, whatever New Year's resolutions, y'all try to stick to them.
Hopefully y'all stick to them. Y'all probably won't, but
Go ahead and start now.
Yeah, don't wait. Don't
wait. Just do it.
Don't even say it's a resolution. Just do it.
Yeah, facts. Just get up. I know you sitting down right now. Go do it.
Listen to all the people that are saying they want to work out. Listen to us while you work out.
Listen to facts. Yeah. Learn a little something. Hear a little something. Talk to us. Talk back to it. But yeah, if you guys got any suggestions in the comment section, leave those things for us. We're always looking. We're always looking to expand and talk about different subjects you guys are interested in. But yeah.
If you're down with the get down, go ahead and subscribe.